Hey guys, welcome to this day's episode of The Tea. Today, I'm talking about how I told my job to fire me. Before we get started, I will tell you what tea I'm drinking today. I'm drinking echinacea tea, which is supposed to be good for your immune system health, which is definitely something I can use right now because I'm quite stressed. Anyway, as a disclaimer, I am not going to drag their name through the mud at all, who I used to work for. Doesn't matter. I just think this is a very interesting thing to talk about because I think it teaches a really good lesson and it's definitely teaching me something. So, as most people knew, I obviously had a day job because currently being a content creator doesn't necessarily pay the bills. I hope it does now, but it was a really great job, pretty good pay, great people. I liked the job itself, and it was pretty fulfilling. And, overall, I enjoyed it. But the thing about it is that in order to get this job done, I overworked myself all year. I know that I'm not the only one. I will just say that. But it was overworking to the point of it was getting very, very unhealthy for me. It's a very client-centered job, and there would be most days I would not get up from the couch. I wouldn't eat. I didn't eat 3 meals a day at all. I couldn't exercise. I literally didn't, leave the couch, and we would have, we would have some clients that really walked all over us and really didn't treat us very well. And so that wasn't very nice to deal with. It was very stressful to deal with day in and day out. And the thing is that we were promised that things would get better. Conditions would get better, loads would be, lifted and made more easier and more, attainable for us to manage our workload so that we wouldn't be stressed all the time. But that never really happened. And I, like I said, I'm only speaking for myself, but just continue having all of these mental breakdowns every few months, really, really bad ones, really, really bad panic attacks, and it was getting way, way too common. I even reached out to my job and they agreed that I was overworked. They agreed that I was overbooked and made it seem like I could reach out for help if I wanted to. If I was feeling like the load was getting too much and there weren't enough hours in the day, which there weren't, and they agreed with me that there wasn't enough hours in the day to get my job done. And then I did ask for help, and then I was penalized with a first written warning for work performance because I asked for help, because I needed people's help to get through a certain task. And that really took a hit on me. At the end of September, I was hospitalized for a panic attack. I thought I was going to die. It was really, really bad. I spent all day in the hospital. And that was definitely a breaking point for me because I am a PTSD veteran. Stress, unfortunately, is a huge part of my disability. Cancer runs in my family and is exacerbated by stress. And I just felt that if I stayed in this environment, I was going to die an early death. This is the kind of stress, is the reason why I left the military, and I'm just not willing to put myself through that again because I do want to get better and because I do want to be healthy. So I sent an email to my company after I took time off during a busy season, but it didn't really matter to me because I had a family member who was very, very sick, who I had put off visiting for weeks because the workload was so much and because I was struggling to try and keep on proving myself that I could keep on doing this job. But after a while, it became clear that, the deadlines and the stuff that I was given, it seemed like I was being set up to fail. And so I decided to go home and see that family member, and I gave my job an ultimatum. I told them that I was at my breaking point. I, reiterated all of these mental breakdowns and stuff that I've been going through, and the amount of times that I've said that I was overloaded, and basically said that, they can either make the changes that they've been promising to make all year, or they can fire me. Because I'm not going to voluntarily give up my income, you know what I mean? Especially not in these times. But I really did decide to just challenge them.
Battery, please charge.
Gosh, my battery. I really just did decide to challenge them to do what they said they were going to do. Which is really hard for me because I have a hard time, I think, sometimes standing up for myself. But I decided that enough was enough. Consulted with friends, with my husband, and decided that we can survive without this job and that my health was more important. And so I gave them that choice, and they chose to fire me a week later, without addressing anything that I really talked about at all. But that's okay. I didn't look back. And as I told them in my email, if they decided to fire me, I would happily walk away knowing that I did the best that I could at this job. Because if working 60 to 70 hour weeks and 12 to 16 hour days was never going to be enough for them, then I was never going to succeed at that job. And you know what? That's fine, because my health is more important. And so I'm a disabled veteran. This year has definitely pushed me a little further in my disability, which sucks. Disability from PTSD. And so I'm really now taking this time to heal, because I've never really done that in my adult life. I have never actually taken any time to truly work on myself and to truly spend a significant amount of time learning to heal from everything that I've been through. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to focus on myself and my family. I'm going to focus on my music, and I'm going to focus on producing content. And I'm actually really excited for that. The lesson I learned here, and the lesson I want y'all to take away from this, is that a job really is just a fucking job. And they really will replace you once you are not of any use to them. A lot of organizations will try and make you feel like you're a part of a family, they can garner that type of concern for you. But I think it's always safe to look at it from the perspective that they are using you, that you are only worth as much work you can do for them. And once that runs out, you are definitely replaceable to them. So you have to remember to look out for yourself and your health, because they definitely aren't going to do that. And no job is worth dying an early death over, or any type of death over, really. One thing that I am struggling with is definitely learning to measure my worth outside of my ability to work, because like I said, I'm an Air Force veteran. I've been at work basically since I was 17, and just go. 4 years in the Air Force Academy, 5 years active duty, and then straight into a new job when I moved to New York. And so I've never really not worked, and so I'm really trying to cope with that fact that I can't work right now, maybe not for a while, and I'm trying to find my worth outside of my ability to do things for other people. And that includes going to therapy, getting an actual fucking self-care routine, and just really focusing on myself. And that's really hard to do because I'm very high-strung and A-type, but I'm working on it. So, in conclusion, because of all this, I am now a full-time content creator right now and recording artist, and so that's pretty cool. So I'm going to be focusing on that for a while now. if you would like to support, because now this is a means of financial gains, and it has to be. So if you would like to support, the best ways would be to become a patron on Patreon, even sign up for OnlyFans, and check out some of my merch on my official website, nicquemarina.com. I am a little scared and I'm really nervous, but at the same time, I get to produce more content and do what I'm really good at, and I hope that you guys believe in me enough and are able to support me so that this all becomes worth it in the end. But it is already worth it, leaving that environment, because my health is important. My health is important, and taking a trip to the hospital for work stress will definitely open your eyes to that. So just on that alone, I regret absolutely nothing. I put that ball in their court, and by firing me, to me, that just says that they never intended on improving things like they said they would, and that's fine. And so I feel like even though I got fired on my own terms, and that's the way I like to do things. So that is today's episode of The Tea. It's a little heavy, it's a little personal, but it's definitely important to me, and it's a big step in my progression as a content creator, and I really did want to talk about it. Like I said, I'm not going to mention the name of the company. I don't intend to drag them through the mud or anything. Loved my coworkers, loved the people I worked with, but sometimes it's just time to go when something is not serving you anymore, and that was that time. So thank you so much for watching. Like I said, please go become a patron on Patreon or join OnlyFans. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel if you like this. If you have anything else that you would like me to talk about, please let me know in the comments or hit me up on Instagram or whatever. And I will just see you at the next episode or the next video, whatever. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.